Hey everyone, this is Jack Bourne, founder of Deadline Funnel, and my guest today is Stacie Walker. Let me tell you about Stacie. She's a digital marketing expert, business strategist, and the founder of Unleash Your Ambition. For over a decade, Stacie has helped driven people build low volume, high value coaching or consulting businesses without experiencing overwhelm or burnout. And today she's going to be talking with me about 3 major mistakes to avoid with your marketing strategy. Great to have you here, Stacie.
Thank you so much and I'm so excited to be here, Jack. I really appreciate it. And I'm happy to have this conversation with you.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that I really love about what it is that you do is the emphasis on low volume, high value so that we don't burn out. So why don't we start there? It sounds like you're solving a need. This is sort of a softball question, but do entrepreneurs suffer from burnout?
Of course, especially
yeah, right here, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, you're just going. And I've noticed it's like within myself and other clients that I've worked with, or even just colleagues, like there comes a point to where like things are going, the momentum's going, you're going, and then all of a sudden you realize things are going, but your body can't go anymore. Your mind can't go anymore. So what I've learned is that it's best to actually work less and have tools, people, systems to help you when you can't do anything, especially if the unexpected happens, or we only have 24 hours in a day. A good chunk of that we are sleeping. So I would rather not be overworked, overwhelmed, burned out, because how can we run our businesses effectively? How can we serve our clients effectively? And of course, like, how can we be best to ourselves? Like we're actually the number one asset, because without us, our businesses can't grow. We can't serve our clients and customers.
Yeah. And for I think far too long, hustle culture has been telling us that we need to just go and outwork the competition. And certainly, on the flip side of things, there's, people out there saying it's easy. All you need to do is sign up for my thing and you'll instantly become a millionaire. So obviously, like, we know anyone who's actually tried this knows that it takes work. But as you pointed out, there's a point at which just pushing ourselves to the point of breaking and burning the candle at both ends is not the solution. So how do you help your clients to avoid that burnout?
Oh, that's a great question. So the way that I work with my clients, I help them build a unique marketing and sales process that's aligned with their vision, mission, and personality. Using a framework known as the Attract, Engage, and Profit framework. It's a methodology I use to where instead of trying to have people try to fit into the methodology, like they're able to put the pieces according to where they're at, whether they're an experienced entrepreneur or they're just getting started. And what's baked into the marketing and sales process is like non-negotiables, like absolute time off and building team. And that could be one person, it could be 3. I'm about low volume, high value. I've never wanted to build a big company, but definitely a high value one. So my clients usually will take a week off every month. That's recommended, and 2 days off a week. That way they can have that time to think, spend time with their loved ones, spend time with themselves, and actually live life. Because most of us, at least from my experience, we started our businesses not only to help people and make money, but to also enjoy life. And if we're working all the time, we can't enjoy life. And, we can't really spend time with our family. So I'm about family first. I mean, that is the value of Unleash Your Ambition, or just putting yourself first, really. Because until we can take care of ourselves first, how can we take care of anyone else? So that's essentially like how I help my clients just know where the boundaries are with, personal and business. A lot of my clients, when they come to me, they can't separate themselves from their business. I'm like, your business is an entity of its own. It's like, it's going to grow on its own. It's going to go through the ups and downs. You got to nurture it, but you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and what I found is that sometimes those key breakthroughs that we have that take our business to the next level come in those down periods. It's not when we're, you know, hustling and we're frazzled and we're burnt out. It comes when for me, it's when I've been on a run, or when I'm out surfing, or, kite surfing, or meditating. Like, it's in those quiet moments where, you're not thinking about the business, but somehow in the background that machinery is still going. And then all of a sudden you have this light bulb moment. And a lot of those answers that break through in those quiet periods, I've found, are the things that I really needed. Like, it's sort of like the solution to the puzzle. Like, I used to, I'm dating myself here, but back when I was in grade school, Rubik's cubes were all the rage. And so, you would just imagine, like, if your business is one of these tough puzzles, like a Rubik's cube, and you're twisting it this way and turning it that way and trying to get all the colors to line up, and the more you try, the more frustrated you get. It's when you put the Rubik's cube down and then walk away from it and go on a walk, that it's like, oh, wait a second, here's what I need to do. And here's the key that unlock it. It's not from trying harder or throwing it against the wall or screaming at it. It's actually relaxing and having that downtime. So I totally get what you're talking about. Let me pivot to, we may have already jumped into one or two of these already, but why don't we talk about the three major mistakes to avoid with your marketing strategy? What do you tell entrepreneurs to avoid?
Okay, well, there's a lot of mistakes, and the mistakes are going to keep happening, but the ones that are the most common, the ones that can definitely slow you down, especially in the beginning stages. What I mean by that is, like, maybe you're making, 5K or under, 10K under. First one, we kind of covered this already, is leveraging, tools, people, like building team, and also having systems in place to do most of the heavy lifting. We can only do so much, and we're only knowledgeable in certain areas. I mean, you're supposed to be the visionary of your business, and you don't have to wear all the hats. And what I see, and what I also experienced in the early years of my business, I started in 2008. So I've been doing this for a very long time, but first 5 years I struggled because I was stubborn. I didn't want to leverage people. I didn't want to use tools, and I definitely did not have systems and processes. And the clients that come to me, or people that, I've had conversations with in the entrepreneurial space, they're not leveraging these things. And that's what's really going to help you get your message out there. That's what's really going to help you be able to focus your time and energy on certain areas of your business. Because if you're wearing too many hats, it's kind of hard for you to, like, really get masterful at what you're doing, which is, client fulfillment, making sure that, you're improving your products or services. It's hard to do that if you don't have systems, processes, and tools to help you with growing your business. So that's probably the biggest mistake that I see, because a lot of people that have come to work with me, they're just kind of winging it. They're just kind of doing the things, only focusing on the sale. And it's like, there needs to actually be an actual system that you need to build. I call it the foundation. And that's what's going to really help you create a launch pad to be able to grow your business, to get your message out there, to get your products and services out there. So don't be afraid to leverage people, tools, and systems to help you, especially get your message out there. And I'm sure you can agree with me, Jack. Like, the tools that we have, like, today, as of like this year, they're so much easier than what they were years ago. Like, it's so much easier and more effective, efficient to be able to have these things built for you. That way you're not doing things by yourself. So that's the first one.
Yeah. Amen. I mean, I hate to sound like the old guy screaming at the kids to get off the lawn, but back in my day, when I first started, which was a little bit even earlier than when you started, building a web page was okay. You either have to learn Dreamweaver, or you're going to have to hire somebody. You couldn't go there. There was no Fiverr there was no Upwork.
Right.
You know, I forget how we did it back then, but I mean,
I don't remember either. It's
just,
like
just getting a page up and going was
Mhm.
just a struggle. So I think the big lesson, so let's put my reminiscing aside. The big lesson is, you know, to build team around you. I think one of the things that I was listening to this morning was one of my favorite podcasts, and the host was talking about how where a lot of people get stuck is that what got them to a certain level, which is being independent and saying, I can do it, like I can take on the load, you know, and sometimes you need to be the entrepreneur who wears lots of hats to get from 0 to like the first sale or the first, you know, 6 figures, or maybe, you know, $50,000 in annual revenue. But at some point, that mentality of I'll just do all the things really holds you back. And so what got you to that point needs to change, or else you won't get to where you want to go. So
absolutely
great point, which sounds easy, but
it's
is
not,
often
it wasn't
is
for
often
me
overlooked.
at all.
Yeah. And on that note, I would say, you know, again, I don't want to spend too much time reminiscing, but I, after reading the 4-Hour Work Week back when it came out, whenever that was, you know, I thought, oh, this is going to be the solution to my answers. I'm going to go hire the cheapest per hour person I can find in, you know, overseas. And that didn't work out very well. But I ultimately, I didn't give up. I did take a break, but I came back to it after I had matured a little bit and realized, okay, to a degree, you really get what you pay for. Like, and you want to surround yourself with all-stars. So, you know, don't, you know, the solution isn't always is rarely to hire an army of, you know, lowest dollar per hour labor. You really want to build a team of qualified superstars around you. And, you know, if you think, well, I can't afford a superstar, maybe you can afford, you know, if you find that superstar, maybe you can afford a few hours of their time per week. And maybe that's how you leverage up. Because what I've found, I don't know if you agree, is that when you get the right person, even getting a fraction of their time is better than getting 100% of someone's time who's, you know, you're constantly having to redo their stuff or re-explain it for the 5th time, that sort of thing. So have you found that as well?
Yes, absolutely. You know, when I first started hiring someone, and I was already into year 5, and I had no experience with hiring anyone. I didn't know what to expect, but I put the ad on in Craigslist. I remember this. I mean, this is like circa 2012, somewhere around there. And I put it on Craigslist, and my first hire, she was okay. And I just wanted someone to help me with 2 hours a month. Like, that's where I started. Just where I was willing to invest, because I was bootstrapping in the beginning. And I was frustrated because I didn't have the leadership skills. See, this is what happened when I didn't have a mentor. Like, having a mentor and a coach, people around you, or even just having a group of people that can help you, you will be able to move so much faster. But I didn't give up. Like, I went through like 5 people, and I needed to actually see like where I needed to help them help me. Like, I know in the beginning, I did not have like standard operating procedures. You know, I didn't record, you know, certain things that I was doing. Like, 2 things that I don't do well, which are the easiest things: email and my calendar. So I finally, 5th person, I finally found someone. She's still with me today, Irma. She's like my right-hand lady, and she takes care of my email, my appointments, and I don't take care of any of that. And she's been with me for a while. Like, she was the one that I knew who would help me grow my company, and she's been with me since. So yeah, I went through some people, a lot of people, but I didn't give up. I found the one. And I also had to reflect on, okay, what's going on with me? Where do I need to improve in order to make sure that the right person is working for the company? So I did it very messy in the beginning, and still to this day, like, as I continue to grow, I still do things messy. Like, I don't have too many high expectations. I'm just like, let me just be a mad scientist and see how this goes, and let me get some results back. But having someone that's not cheap, you're right, Jack, about that. We have to think of like the help that we hire. It's an investment. and of course, talk to your tax professional, and things can work out, because I used to think it was an expense when I first started hiring team, and I just had the totally wrong mindset about it. It's an investment. That's someone that can buy back my time. That's someone that can help me attract more clients for, whatever I'm offering. So it's the same for any other business owner. We get our time. Time is something that we cannot get back at all. Once it's gone, it's gone. Money, I believe it's a unlimited resource. There's so many opportunities to make money. So I would rather pay for some of my time back. I'm 45. I have a 6-year-old. My family's the most important. Me traveling is most important. I love to get out in the woods. That's important to me, but I also love my business. There has to be a happy medium. So having the team, and that could be one person, 2 people, and having the systems in place, like using automation and technology, really, really changed the game for my business. Like I tell you, I work, now I work 10 hours a week, 4 days a week. And I started, like when I started my business, I was working like 70, 80 hours a week, Jack. It was like ridiculous. And yeah, that's when I came crashing and burning like 3 years later, because my body and my mind were like, no, you can't do this anymore. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
We're definitely on the same page with that one. So what is mistake? What is the second mistake?
The second mistake, oh my goodness, this is a big one. Leveraging other people's or platforms' audiences. I call this collaboration, especially during the early stages when you don't have the momentum going, when you don't have the consistency going in your business, you're not making sales consistently, you're not hitting your goals. You're not building your email list, which is something I'll go into more in a moment. Leveraging other people's audiences. So I call it collaboration, joint ventures, partnerships, strategic partnerships. I call it collaboration. It's basically basically what we're doing right now. Like I'm being interviewed by you, and I also have a podcast, and I interview other entrepreneurs, and I also I used to host 4 online conferences a year. I slowed down because the momentum went, and it's still going like to this day. But leveraging other people's audiences helps you get out to audiences that you may have not had access to. And this is also an authentic way to network with other passionate entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things. And I would say, like, be careful, like who you collaborate with, who you partner with. You want to make sure they're aligned with your values, that you see that there's a benefit not only for yourself, but also for the audience that, the content's for, and also the person that you're partnering with. Like, I think it should be a win all the way around. It should make sense all the way around. But that's going to help you be able to amplify your message, your marketing message, get in front of people who would probably not know who you are. Especially if you're doing things on your own, that would be the fastest way to build up an audience. And you can do that online and offline. You can do whatever you want. That's a great way to get your message out there and to attract new clients or customers.
So what would just so we're clear on what the mistake is, because you talked about what you should be doing. What would the mistake be? Not collaborating, or
not doing it, doing things on your own, trying to build on your own. It's similar to the first one, except that you're partnering with other entrepreneurs to help you build your audience, to help you build your list. And I say this is a mistake, Jack, because I like to use the house analogy. Like, let's say you build a house all by yourself. Like, how long is that going to take unless, you have someone help you build that house? So partnering up with other people, and that could be through podcasts, events, online conferences, any type of valuable piece of content. It could be video, audio, it could even be the written word, is where you can actually collaborate with other people to help them and also help yourself and the audience that the collaboration event was created for, to help them, get value. And also it helps you at the same time. So the mistake is like not doing that at all and thinking that people probably wouldn't collaborate with you. One of the things that comes up with a lot of my clients, like when I encourage them and suggest that they, partner up with other entrepreneurs that are like in a similar niche or a niche that could complement your niche, they say, well, why would that person want to, partner with me? And it's like, why not? If you have something that they could stand behind, and that's going to help you out mutually, why not? It also takes is an ask,
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's been one of the most powerful ways that we've built Deadline Funnel is through other people talking about it. Some of them you would classify as affiliates. Some of them are happy clients, and so it's through other people's contacts and networks and platforms and audiences that has been one of our most tried and true ways of growing the business. So could not agree more. So what is mistake number 3 that we should avoid with our marketing?
Number 3 is basically not understanding the customer or client journey and just focusing on the sale. A lot of people that get into building their businesses, I work with coaches and consultants, they just want to help people with the thing that they're an expert in. They're usually not experts with marketing and sales, which is totally understandable. So they're not really thinking about like what happens before the sale. And we have to understand the client or customer journey. Like that is something that I wish I would have known about probably during the first year of my business, because it probably would have saved me a lot of blood, tears, and a lot of time. So,
well, tell me about that. Why would that have saved you time and energy?
Well, because I was just so focused on the sell. I didn't know that there are different states of awareness of my best fit client or customer. There's so, for example, like when it comes to the customer or client journey, there are going to be some people that aren't going to be ready to buy. So there's going to be some that have no idea that you have something that's going to help them solve their problem or help them, get something that they want. And then we have people that are completely aware that they have a problem. They're agitated enough to do something about it. And that's usually who I like to, connect with first. Like I kind of tip, instead of like trying to have somebody understand like why your product or service is something that they need. I think it's best to like start with the people that are actively looking for a solution, and once you understand a client or customer journey, it's easier for you to create content that speaks to that person that is experiencing a problem. They're aware of the problem. They're actively looking for a solution to that problem, and you have the solution to that problem. Well, the way that you are going to communicate to them through the content that you share is going to be totally different from the person that has no idea that they even have a problem in the first place. So that's why it's so important to understand the customer journey, because I know in the beginning stages, I was just talking to anyone and everyone. And I was just like, what is going on? I know I have a great product. I know that I can help people, but my message wasn't landing with anyone specific, So the way that Jack, the way that I do it, I start first with the person who is ready to get a problem solved now. They're actively looking. The way I will make sure that my message is geared towards that person. It's going to be completely different from the person that has no idea they even have a problem that they're going to definitely be facing.
So give me an example of like what an effective message for your business would look like, as opposed to what you might have done in the past.
So now, what I would do right now is, it doesn't matter really the format, it could be audio, video, the written word. So I could create a marketing message. So like, are you a coach or consultant who is having a hard time consistently attracting clients or customers? Something like that, very specific. Have a hard time. And then someone that is not aware that they need help with their marketing and sales, it would be like, are you a coach or consultant who wants to avoid 3 mistakes or avoid these 3 marketing mistakes? I mean, it's just very general, because people want to avoid mistakes, and it causes curiosity. So someone that is not problem aware, they're going to be more, I guess they're going to be more conscious of not wanting to make certain mistakes. They're looking for shortcuts, they're looking for tips. The person that's solution aware, they're not looking for tips and they're not looking for mistakes. They're ready to solve their problem. So speaking of two different versions of your best fit client or customer, that's like, I mean, because that's all your best fit client or customer. It just depends on where they're at in their state of awareness.
Makes a lot of sense. And speaking about clients and helping clients solve their problems, let's bring this to a close by talking about who you'd like to work with, how you help them, and then where, if that resonates with the person listening or watching this, how can they find out more about you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jack. So my client or customer is a driven coach or consultant who is wanting to build a low volume, high value business that's aligned with their mission, vision, and personality. And they want to do it by creating a solid foundation that's going to attract clients, customers consistently without experiencing burnout, right? So I love this type of client because I know that they know what they have what it takes. This is somebody that definitely believes that they have something that's going to help many people. This is somebody that does not want to build a big organization. I mean, not everybody has to, and you don't have to in order to make 6, 7 figures. I mean, I have a client that has a team of 3 and she makes almost $1 million, and it's like, I just want to help that client just know that they're able to build a very successful business. It's however high you want to go, but you don't have to, sacrifice your time away from yourself. You don't have to sacrifice, your values. And you can do things your way. You can do things your way. Everybody's unique. You don't need to fit in a box. It's about me helping my clients be able to work within the framework that I give them. So they're able to, most likely they'll take the action on it. That's what I've seen so far. And what was the next question?
Yeah. How do these clients find you?
Oh, they can find me at unleashyourambition.com. I also have a podcast. I'm the host of Unleash Your Ambition podcast, and on Instagram, Unleash Your Ambition LLC. And then I have an account on TikTok. I just got on there, but you can find me there, Unleash Your Ambition.
Awesome. Fantastic. Stacie, thank you so much for your time, for your wisdom, and for sharing those 3 mistakes that entrepreneurs make with their business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jack. It has been a pleasure.
Thanks.